Read Global Truth.
Yeah. It's the one and only Jakeem Judah, reporting live from the All praises to the Most High, yeah. You know how. Yeah, you gotta cut them people off, they just in the way. They'll stab you in your back and lie to your face. You say it's all love, but nigga, I can feel the hate. You don't know how they keep it real, well let me demonstrate. You gotta cut them people off, they just in the way. They'll stab you in your back and lie to your face. You say it's all love, but nigga, I can feel the hate. You don't know how they keep it real, well let me demonstrate. Yeah, the Most High done turned me to a whole soldier. I done changed up so much, homie, I don't know you. I done switched up, I'm giving you the cold shoulder. Man, this world so damn cold, you thought it froze over. But I won't let it get to me. I got that righteous energy. Brother, you gotta stay patient and don't get caught up in the matrix. Cause it's so easy to lose yourself. In this world full of drugs, you abuse yourself. If you hang around demons, then remove yourself. And if it's either you or them, then choose yourself. And don't fall for this culture, that shit is a scam. I don't need this wicked world to tell me who I am. Tell me how I should dress, tell me what I should say. Tell me what I could do, tell me where I can stay. Nah, you gotta cut them people off, they just in the way. They'll stab you in your back and lie to your face. You say it's all love, but nigga, I can feel the hate. You don't know how they keep it real, well let me demonstrate. You gotta cut them people off, they just in the way. They'll stab you in your back and lie to your face. You say it's all love, but nigga, I can feel the hate. You don't know how they keep it real, well let me demonstrate.
The reason why we remain stagnant, because a lot of people don't want to see others winning. They don't want to see other people eating, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta be the demonstration. Yeah. We gotta pave the way, cause it's just too many snakes. You got a problem with your folks, tell them face to face. Out the mouth of two witnesses. Let's start from the beginning like Genesis. Too many envious, walking dead Cynthians. My intuition kicking in, leave the premises. Got me feeling like Eddie off of Limitless. They say the devil in the details, let them niggas reveal all they ill intentions, but the righteous gonna prevail. Shout it from the rooftop, soldier strapped with 2 Glocks, dealing with the hoorah. Lot of people shiesty, they'll knife you for that new spot, dig you up a new plot, tear your life into pieces like a last resort. Your ex will run to the ops, have you lost for words. Your own family set you up like the house of cards. I done seen it all, damn it, I done seen it all. Life insurance policies will make them pull a plug. And when you eating good, everybody showing love. But when you down and out, tell me where the hell they at. They crawl back into their hole, that's their habitat.
Post reveals hackers affiliated with China's People's Liberation Army have infiltrated critical services here in the U.S.
Alexandra Hoff joins us now from our nation's capital. Alex, this is not good.
No, it's not. I mean, this infiltration appears to be part of a broader effort to insert chaos into our logistical systems. The information collected could then be weaponized if the U.S. and China were to become engaged directly in the Pacific. According to reporting from the Washington Post citing multiple U.S. and industry security officials, China's cyber army is invading critical U.S. services, like an attempt to break into the system behind Texas's independent power grid. Other victims include a water utility in Hawaii, a West Coast port, and at least one oil and gas pipeline, according to that report you're seeing there. Brandon Wells, executive director of the Department of Homeland Security's cybersecurity agency, told the Washington Post this, quote, "It is very clear that Chinese attempts to compromise critical infrastructure are in part to pre-position themselves to be able to disrupt or destroy that critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict, to either prevent the United States from being able to project power into Asia or to cause societal chaos inside the United States to affect our decision-making around a crisis." The report notes that over the past year, hackers affiliated with the People's Liberation.
Wow. Mark your calendars. December 11th, 2023. Happened to be my B-Day. And there's been a critical cyber hack between China and America, which will eventually cause chaos in the event of any type of conflict. This happened today. This is breaking news. This is breaking news. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some things to discuss. Oh, yeah. Y'all brace yourselves for this one. I want everybody to come in and hit the like button. I see Gina in the building, Mrs. Lovely. Arnold is in the building. Salute. I see Broken Matrix in the house. What's going on, fam? Captain Trips. Danny C. Chi, Forever Bless. Man. When I tell you, the rabbit hole goes deep. It's real out here, folks. Now, the predictive programming is very real. And literally this movie, this Netflix movie, this film called Leave the World Behind that just dropped a few days ago. Already we having cyber attacks. And in case you all have not seen this film, I mean, y'all need to go see it. Actually, you could just order it on Netflix. You got Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke. You got Mahershala Ali in it. Kevin Bacon's in this joint. And I mean, in the movie, a cyber attack happens, which sprawls the inner cities into utter chaos. And pretty much all hell breaks loose. Now, if everybody can hear me clearly, I want you all to please put a 1 in the chat. If y'all can hear me clearly and there's no discrepancies, let a brother know something. All right, all right. I see the ones. I see the ones. All praises, all praises. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to get to the nitty gritty. Now, a lot of people want to know what Barack Obama's affiliation is with this film. So first and foremost, we got to get to that. Now, there was a scene in this movie where the rich black homeowner who owned a home in the countryside, who was renting it out as an Airbnb, he was speaking about his rich clientele. And he said that there was a particular client he had, which he didn't give this client's name. But he said, hey, he's very well known. Ladies and gentlemen, that client was supposed to be Barack Obama. That's right. So the warning that he was getting, the heads up he was getting from his elite friends, happened to be the Obama family within the movie. Of course, they didn't say that, but speculation will lead you to believe that they're speaking about the Obamas. Now, what do the Obamas have to do with the film, right? This is what we need to know. We really need to understand this because they have a big role here. Essentially, they acted as consultants. Now, word in the streets is this, that the insight and details that Barack Obama was giving the producer was so chilling that the producer was shook. You understand? And the reality of the situation is a lot of what was given to the producers is real, ladies and gentlemen, is really happening. Not in the distant future, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the cyber attacks are happening now. We're not talking about 10 years, 20 years, 15 years from now. We're talking about the fall of Babylon is taking place right now, brothers and sisters. So we gotta talk about this, man. Let's look at one of these scenes from the movie here, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about what Barack Obama's, what their, I would say, what their role was in helping produce this film. We'll go to some sources, but listen to this here.
One program in particular that terrified my client the most.
He said one program that terrified my client the most. The client he's speaking of is theoretically Barack Obama. And I told you before, the elitists, the best they get is a heads up. You know, it's ran by such a wicked cabal that no one man knows everything. No one man knows exactly what's going to happen. The most they can get is a heads up, right? Somebody said the audio is low. I get that, but if you can hear it, please bear with me. It's a reason why it's muffled. Matter of fact, I'll do you a solid and I will see if I can turn down my background music so you can hear that a little bit better. Let's see if this helps. All right.
A three-stage maneuver that could topple a country's government from within.
A three-stage maneuver that can topple a country's government from within. Fair use.
The first stage was isolation. Disable their communication and transportation. Make the target as deaf.
Now, I don't know if you all just spotted that, but there was a ship that rolled up on the beach, and this was a very pivotal scene in the movie. We need to talk about that ship very briefly, right? We need to talk about that ship, and we're going to go back. We'll go back and address that ship. Let's just play this through real quick.
Doubly paralyzed as possible, setting them up for the second stage. Synchronized chaos.
Synchronized chaos. Now, what did you just hear, ladies and gentlemen, about the cyber attack in China? You just heard about synchronized chaos. They literally are telling you what they're going to do. They just told you in a video clip, in the event of any type of crisis, they can synchronize chaos in so little words. Right? Let's get it.
Terrorize them with covert attacks and disinformation.
Covert attacks and disinformation.
Overwhelming their defense capabilities, leaving their weapon systems vulnerable to extremists in their own military. Without a clear enemy or motive, people would start turning on each other.
And that's what's going to happen in these cities. Without a clear enemy or a motive, people are going to start turning on each other, especially in these cities where everybody is stacked up on top of each other. And even if you're in the country and you're not in the midst of a community that you can trust, you're going to have these very same issues. It may even be worse for some because there's nobody to come to rescue. But the cities will be considerably worse. Let's go.
Done successfully, third stage would happen on its own. What's the third stage? A coup d'etat. Civil war. Collapse. This program was considered the most cost-effective way to destabilize the country. Because if the target nation was dysfunctional enough, it would, in essence, do the work for you. Whoever started this wants us to finish it.
Whoever started this war wants us to finish it. I'm telling you right now, everything has been put in place to make sure this happens. You got a lot of electromagnetic frequencies being elevated, particularly on targeted individuals, people that they want to trigger in society. You just recently seen a lot of shootings that took place recently where they have these plants and these Manchurian candidates that they're trying to let loose on society. They just want to have some of the extremists within the military as well. We're talking about a full-blown collapse, ladies and gentlemen. Full-blown. No doubt about this. Yeah, we're talking about World War III. Now, the White Lion ship that rolled up on the beach shore. Some are probably wondering, what is the significance of that? right? What is it? What is the significance of the White Lion ship? Well, you know, they say reading is fundamental, ladies and gentlemen. So let's read. And you all can feel free to follow along on your screen. The White Lion was an English privateer operating under a Dutch letter of marque, which brought the first Africans to the English colony of Virginia in 1619. And there's a couple instances in the movie where you see the 1619, or you'll see it in reverse. You see the numerology and you see the digits. Now, why did the White Lion roll up on this movie? We're talking about the first slave ship. Now, I want you to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my, here comes Judah. But let's get into it. Let's read a little bit more. I hope the gears are beginning to really start to spin in your minds what they're trying to communicate. It goes on to say, which brought the first Africans to the English colony of Virginia in 1619, a year before the arrival of the Mayflower in New England. Though the African captives were sold as indentured servants. Now we know we were sold as slaves, not indentured servants. The event is regarded as the start of African slavery in the colonial history of the United States. See, they're putting it out there that because of slavery, because of that ship that rolled up, because of what was done, everything that happens following that event is basically the recompense from the Almighty. It's the judgment for the land. Why? Because they have not given the people due justice. The slaves that they brung over here on cargo slave ships that built the entire infrastructure for this country have not gotten back the payback. They have not gotten their 40 acres and a mule, and they had to show that ship rolling up because it's very significant to the veil being lifted and the reason why that judgment is coming to America. So now, as the scriptures tell us, those who lead into captivity will be led into captivity. Do you understand? So we gotta continue here. Somebody said, did God make them slaves at first, though? Yes, the Most High made us serve under our captors, but the Gentile nations went above what they were supposed to do. But that's another topic for another day. But we got to get more into the significance of that ship rolling up. Now, it goes on to say, it says the first enslaved Africans in the current boundaries of the United States landed in 1526 in the expedition of Spanish explorer Lucas Vasquez de Ayllón on the South Carolina and Georgia coast. Some escape are thought to have joined Native Americans if they survived, and enslaved participants in the Spanish expedition. Now, let's see. The Africans on the White Lion were probably among the thousands who had been captured in 1618, 1619 by a slave raiding force primarily consisting of African raiders. Under normal Portuguese leadership, we were at war with the kingdoms. These particular enslaved Africans was taken on a Portuguese slave ship. So now you need to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. What is the validity of this in this movie? Now, Barack Obama is from where, ladies and gentlemen? Barack Obama is from Kenya, correct? Now, through this cyber attack with China, I don't know if you all have been previewed to some of the ethnic purging that's taking place in actual Kenya, where they want to actually get out. They want to get Judah out of Kenya. Yeah, they want to ship them off. Matter of fact, as of January the 1st, so I'm bringing y'all some things that the world's not talking about. As of January 1st, they want a lot of these people. They want a lot of these migrants and settlers out of Kenya, and they want to bring in new people. So it's like reverse it's like almost like reverse slavery. They want to bring in, Obama's a part of this. They want to bring in new people to establish Kenya. See, the powers that be know that we are in our mass exodus phase. They know that we're getting out of the cities. They know that we're starting to wake up. The light bulb is going off. So Obama, being the Antichrist Satanist that he is, he wants to somewhat mimic what we're doing. So he wants some African Americans to go build Kenya up for free, like slavery, but building his country up. Just like Oprah Winfrey then went and got land grabs in Hawaii, you got to understand that Barack Obama is going to get land grabs in where, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya. Man, come on now. Come on now. Y'all listening to me? Now, nobody on social media is really breaking this down like this, man. So come in and pound the like button on the video, because it's so much information. It's so much going on, right? Now, we got to talk about this cyber attack, and then we got to get more into Barack Obama's involvement so you could piece this puzzle together. Peep the game.
Post reveals hackers affiliated with China's People's Liberation Army have infiltrated critical services here in the U.S.
Alexandra Hoff joins us now from our nation's capital. Alex, this is not good.
No, it's not. I mean, this infiltration appears to be part of a broader effort to insert chaos into our logistical systems. The information collected could then be weaponized if the U.S. and China were to become engaged directly in the Pacific. According to reporting from the Washington Post citing multiple U.S. and industry security officials, China's cyber army is invading critical U.S. services, like an attempt to break into the system behind Texas's independent power grid. Other victims include a water utility in Hawaii, a West Coast port, and at least one oil and gas pipeline, according to that report you're seeing there. Brendan Wells, executive director of the Department of Homeland Security Cybersecurity Agency, told the Washington Post this, quote, "It is very clear that Chinese attempts to compromise critical infrastructure are in part to pre-position themselves to be able to disrupt or destroy that critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict, to either prevent the United States from being able to project power into Asia or to cause societal chaos inside the United States to affect our decision-making around a crisis." The report notes that over the past year, hackers affiliated with the People's Liberation.
Now, some are probably wondering, Newbreed, what does China have to do with Kenya? All right, let me bring this up for you. China and Kenya's relationship refers to the bilateral relationships between the People's Republic of China and Kenya. Listen, the two countries established their relationship in 1963. Now, you got to understand that there's a huge impact with China and Kenya. So this is going to affect Kenya as well. Now, I thought I would bring that out, right? And without getting too much into the details, I want you to read up on that. But I also want you to notice what was said about Hawaii. Hawaii was also brung up. We're talking about multiple gas pipelines. They're pointing out certain places, because this is where the elitists are going to get their stock at. Yeah, China is buying up pretty much all of Africa. They're trying to get involved they're purchasing a lot of land in Kenya. So we need to understand that. Now, there was something real key, and I do not want to leave this out. I'm going to play this one more time. It was one more point in there that y'all got to really listen to. Everybody pound the like button. I'm going to bring this out.
Post reveals hackers affiliated with China's People's Liberation Army have infiltrated critical services here in the U.S.
Alexandra Hoff joins us now from our nation's capital. Alex, this is not good.
No, it's not. I mean, this infiltration appears to be part of a broader effort to insert chaos into our logistical systems. The information collected could then be weaponized if the U.S. and China were to become engaged directly in the Pacific. According to reporting from the Washington Post citing multiple U.S. and industry security officials, China's cyber army is invading critical.
So major services are about to be affected. So this is what I also wanted to bring out. Texas, they brung up Texas and their personal grid that Texas have. Ladies and gentlemen, Texas is about to be the first state to depart the United States. Mark my words. Texas will be the first state to pretty much leave the United States and become its own independent state. Texas has been doing everything they can to have their own grid, their own everything, ladies and gentlemen. And there's been certain things being passed as of late where they're pretty much ready to do what they need to do. And they're going to depart from America. Seriously. So it's getting real out here. This is going to become like the Hunger Games, District 12. Now imagine America being broke up into districts, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody who has assets such as China, because everything is made in China. You got TikTok. Hell, some of the sources we look at came from TikTok. You got that Chinese spyware watching the people. Listen, anywhere that they can purchase, any land they can get, it's beginning, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's time for people to be interested in getting land. Because the Hunger Games are starting whole time. Real talk. Now, we got to talk about Barack Obama's involvement with this film, his role, because a lot of people are speculating. They're saying that he produced it. No, you need to understand what his role is. So we have to really fact check this. And it reads, what was, and this is Decider, what was the Obama's role in Leave the World Behind? It says the Obamas are listed as producers on Leave the World Behind because Barack Obama and Michelle Obama's production company, Higher Ground Productions. Now think about that. Higher Ground Productions. Now that would insinuate when you're on higher grounds, ladies and gentlemen, what does that mean? You're on higher grounds when something's coming and you have a vantage point. That can also signify somewhere of safety. We have the high ground, right? That means we are aware of what's coming. We have taken the high ground, right? So he is listed as producers. You are correct, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Why did this pop up? Hold on one moment. Let me get rid of these ads. All right. It goes on to say, Higher Grounds Productions came on board the film in 2022, 2 years after the movie had already been bought by Netflix. So, as you know, when Obamas got involved, they were actually bringing some insight and some details. And they were, they were basically telling the producers certain things that need to be implemented into the movie. It says this was well after the movie had been cast and after Ishmael had adapted the screenplay from Ruzam Alam's acclaimed 2020 novel. In a statement for the official Leave the World Behind production notes, Tonya Davis, who was head of the film and TV High Ground, said, "What we love about Ruman's book and Sam Aslam's adaptation is that it leaves nothing behind. This is a rare story that deals with race, class, and what it means to raise kids in today's world, how external events start to seep into our consciousness and create fears where maybe there shouldn't be any. This is a story that doesn't necessarily provide answers, but asks fundamental questions about how we live, how we think, and who we trust." In an interview for those same production notes, explained that Barack Obama was a fan of 2020 novel and came aboard in 2022 to help get the film made. "I remember back when I was working on the second season of Mr. Reboot, I almost fell out my chair because I found out President Obama was a fan of the show." So Barack Obama was a fan of this novel, a fan of the show, and he came in and he gave a lot of insight. So the Obamas are elitist. You know what they on. They're high-ranking Satanists and Luciferians. They are quote unquote light bearers. They know some of the details that's going on. And this is just the utter truth here. And there's a lot going on in the world. Now, major services are being disrupted as of today, ladies and gentlemen. We may start seeing things as soon as tomorrow, certain things that we are used to not working for a while, right? Because this is breaking news. Again, it's breaking news. And there's something else interesting taking place in New York City. And I wanna share this as well.
Walk the streets of Manhattan, and you may soon see hundreds of new cameras covering every lane headed downtown. They're charging a new toll on congestion.
We are going to be the very first state in the nation, the very first city in America to have a congestion pricing plan.
The new toll covers much of Lower Manhattan. Entering this zone in a car could cost up to $23 a day.
It's going to be an example for cities all over the country to rethink how they use their street space.
But a plan of this scale will affect millions of people every day. Not everyone is a fan.
Most people are only focused on the fact that they are going to have to pay $23 to get into Manhattan. Pocketbook issues always take priority over the environmental issues or anything else that's related to the problem.
The MTA will use its share of project revenues to secure $15 billion in financing for system maintenance and capital investment.
You know, the public transit system that millions of New Yorkers rely on every single day has been disinvested in almost from day one. Many parts of the system have suffered basically a century of deferred maintenance.
You know, over the last 70 years, the federal government's focusing almost exclusively on investing in our roads, infrastructure, the interstate highway system. We're not going to undo 70 years of policy.
Now, imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. They pretty much open up the borders. They allow all this migration, all these immigrants in. They just kept telling you on the left side, we're talking about the Democratic Party, just kept telling people, come on over. And now New York City, the central hub for all world trade, is jam-packed. And now they want to charge the citizens a congestion fee to travel to and fro to work. And we don't think all hell is going to break loose real soon. Listen, it's to the point where New York is turning into Gotham City. And it's to the point where working citizens, everyday working tax-paying citizens are going to have no reason to be law-abiding anymore. And you couple that with a couple cyber attacks, you shut down people's Wi-Fi, you shut down their services, you pretty much shut down their means of income. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, New York will be one of the first places to really be in the most chaos. For real. It's like they really are setting the stage right now. And these movies are telling you straight up what's going on, man. What did the movie tell you? Hold on, let's get back. Let's get back to it. The Blueprint of Destruction.
There was one program in particular that terrified my client the most. A simple 3-stage maneuver that could topple a country's government from within. The first stage was isolation. Disable their communication and transportation. Make the target as deaf, dumb, and paralyzed as possible. Setting them up for the second stage. Synchronized chaos. Terrorize them with covert attacks and misinformation. Overwhelming their defense capabilities, leaving their weapon systems vulnerable to extremists in their own military. Without a clear enemy or motive, people would start turning on each other. Done successfully, the third stage would happen on its own. What's the third stage? A coup d'etat. Civil War collapsed. This program was considered the most cost-effective way to destabilize the country. Because if the target nation was dysfunctional enough, it would, in essence, do the work for you. Whoever started this wants us to finish it.
Whoever started this wants us to finish it. And all this is happening simultaneously. Now, there's some more interesting things that's taking place that adds more validity to that particular ship called the White Lion that rolled up on the shore of this movie. But you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Destabilization, isolation, and then they let the rest do the work. Now, I want to go to another source as well. Y'all have to give me a moment. Let me get to this source. Let me gather this, because y'all going to find this very interesting here. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Very interesting stuff. Because, okay, what happened here? All right, hold on. Give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody pound the like button. New Glip, thank you for the support. Says predictive programming used to drop decades before the event. Now it seems there's less time between each one. Prepare, come out of her, my people. Shalom, breed. Absolutely, fam. That's real talk. All right, let me see. Hold on one moment. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay. All right. And actually, I see Ann Serve in here, and she actually is the one who sent me this through my inbox. I'm trying to find it, because you're going to find this very interesting, how much they know and why they put the slave ship in the movie. Why did they do that? It was so out of place when you think about it, but there's a method to what they were doing. I'm telling y'all, and this is more details on that, but I have to find this. Okay. I think. All right. Okay, here we go. I got it. For some reason, wow. See, they playing all kind of games, y'all. I'm telling y'all, they playing games. They won't let me click on the source. It's literally just blinking. This is crazy. I have no idea why it's doing this. They do not want me to bring this out. Let me see. Open link as, let me see if it'll let me save the link. Wow, I've never seen it do this. It'll let me click on anything else. I wish I could show y'all. It's literally not letting me click on the actual link. Let me see if I can find this on YouTube. The devil is a lie. Hold on. That's crazy. They know where I'm going. They know what's up. There go that cyber hacking right there. Y'all gonna, this is wild, y'all. This is wild. And this is something. So I'm gonna just put in context what I'm trying to show y'all. Why it won't, I don't know. It won't even let me click on it. It's just blinking. All right. So what I'm trying to share with you all is the Atlanta governor found, and this was on the news in Atlanta, in Georgia. She found some deeds of some slave masters, right? She found their wills, all in Georgia. They found a bunch of wills from slave owners, and a lot of these slave owners were trying to set a lot of the slaves free. Now, what was in some of this documentation will shock you. And this was on the news, but it's like it won't let me share it with y'all, literally. And it's important because this is the reason why they brought that ship into the film as well. It all connects. I'm going to try again for some reason. And if you could send that to me again directly, try to send it again. For some reason, it is not letting me click on it. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It's like I'm in my inbox. As I'm clicking on it to try to share it, it won't work. So if you can, and I know you in the chat, try to send that to me again, directly again. I've never seen it do that before. And y'all know as much as I be streaming using this stuff. I'm gonna try this again. This is bizarre. Yeah, it won't click on it. That's crazy. It won't even let me click on the person's channel who had it. Shalan Day. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. They do not want me to show y'all that. Well, we'll get to it. Yeah, they be listening. They be knowing when people is bringing out real talk, bro. They be knowing. And they know if y'all see certain things, y'all can connect these dots. Now, all the times I've clicked on my inbox to share videos on here, never done that before. That's literally the first time that's happened. I wish I could show y'all. It's literally just I'm clicking it, it's just blinking. Like it's weird. It's the weirdest thing. Yep, somebody said I think she's gonna try to send it again. But anyway, while I'm waiting on that, peep what just happened, ladies and gentlemen.
Post reveals hackers affiliated with China's People's Liberation Army have infiltrated critical services here in the U.S.
Alexandra Hoff joins us now from our nation's capital. Alex, this is not good.
No, it's not. I mean, this infiltration appears to be part of a broader effort to insert chaos into our logistical systems. The information collected could then be weaponized if the U.S. and China were to become engaged directly in the Pacific. According to reporting from the Washington Post citing multiple U.S. and industry security officials, China's cyber army is invading critical U.S. services, like an attempt to break into the system behind Texas's independent power grid. Other victims include a water utility in Hawaii, a West Coast port, and at least one oil and gas pipeline, according to that report you're seeing there. Brandon Wells, executive director of the Department of Homeland Security's cybersecurity agency, told the Washington Post this, quote, "It is very clear that Chinese attempts to compromise critical infrastructure are in part to pre-position themselves to be able to disrupt or destroy that critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict, to either prevent the United States from being able to project power into Asia or to cause societal chaos inside the United States to affect our decision-making around a crisis." The report notes that over the past year, hackers affiliated with the People's Liberation.
Okay. That's organized chaos, ladies and gentlemen. And for some reason, it's still not working. Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I can play the audio, ladies and gentlemen. That's the most I could do. I could play the audio for y'all. Hold on, let me see. Let me try something real here. It's working from my phone, but not my computer. So let me try this real quick. Let me try to inbox it to myself through the phone and see if that works. Even though it's already in my inbox, which is strange. It's still not working from the computer. Okay. All right, I'm gonna play the audio of this, right? There's a gentleman reacting to it, and then it's gonna go into the news brief. Anyway, let's listen up.
Georgia, You will never guess what a black judge found in the basement. Tons and tons of wheels from the 1800s. And what do you think these wheels contain that this beautiful black queen, Kenya Johnson, Judge Kenya Johnson, found? All these white people left their slaves to their ancestors in their wills. She even went on to...
Now, I really wish y'all can see this, because the main place that they have listed in the documents is Liberia. Literally, the main... Listen, I'm telling y'all, like, this is why I want to show y'all, so y'all can know that what we're doing, what we're building, we're right in the vein of prophecy. They left wills, and they left basically to pay to send them back home. Liberia was the biggest country that was on the list. Now, I wish I could show y'all, because this is crazy.
I give my black people and their children to my daughters upon my passing, and to their children, and so on. But not all of these white people were found. This beautiful black judge, Kenya Johnson, also discovered in one of these white people's wills, he wanted his slaves to be paid $100 a piece before being sent back to their home country in Africa. He didn't want his slaves to continue to be slaves after his passing. He just wanted them to work for him. And yeah, as you can see right here, he wanted...
What I'm reading, ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all can't see it, but if y'all can click the link, y'all can click the link. Liberia was on the list. That was pretty much the main place.
Why? Because it's U.S. American history, what they are trying to hide from the kids. If you leave it up to these racist people today, they would burn that entire library of hidden wills that contained our people as property to be given to their children, and then their children, and then their children, which didn't work out, as you can see. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments, because this one is crazy. And you can make an appointment to go see these books for yourself. George.
I'm telling you, y'all, that is very substantial to what's going on right now. What you got to understand is they are hiding history. Like when we went into Wikipedia, you notice they called us endangered servants, or whatever term they use. No, ladies and gentlemen, not only after slavery ended and we were freed, but the slave masters left in their will. A lot of them left us a will and didn't want us to serve any more captivity. So when we talk about these people went above and beyond what they were supposed to do, as the scriptures tell us, they went above and beyond, keeping us in captivity. It's absolutely true. Not only that, they were campaigning to set us free. The slave owners were. And this is an entire library that they got here in Georgia that is coming to the surface as of late. So now they're throwing it in the movies. All right, put it in there. It's covert subliminal messaging. Yeah, they called us indentured servants, but no, ladies and gentlemen, they owe us. And you got to imagine, in some of these wills, we were left land as well, in Africa as well as in America. Now, of course, we can't do anything until we can build up and establish where we're at. But I found it interesting that, we have access to this land here in Liberia, as well as in the Carolinas, where the ports actually arrived. It told you in the White Lion ship that where did the port arrive? In the Carolinas. So let me get this right. We go to Liberia, we get access to the same land, and we are pretty much, we got land over there in North Carolina. Y'all think that's by chance? Or is Carolina acting as a launch pad pretty much for our people? The same way we, literally, ladies and gentlemen, the same way we got in will be the same way we come out. You can't make this up. I see the congregation of Almighty. Yep. And that's what that brother's vision was. And I see the vision, bro, because all the signs are written all over the table. It's crazy. But that's what's going on. The Almighty is trying to take us back, y'all. The Most High is doing something new, man. He's doing a new thing. He's doing a new thing, y'all. Y'all got to be able to see this thing clearly. Somebody said they know that when they put it in the movie, it will go over a lot of people's head. Exactly. Because people are not doing the research, man. I see Jakeem in the building. Salute to the fam. And I'm gonna share the link for you two brothers. If you brothers want to join, if you want to join in and tap in on this conversation, we have it. Let me see. I'm gonna send an invite for Jakeem as well as Elder Uwitazah. Because we've been building on these things behind the scenes as well. And I know you brothers got some insight on it. Gladiator says, I believe y'all in the Most High God sent New Breed and the two elder brothers. Absolutely. All praises. Somebody said, my ancestors are from the Carolinas as well. That's what's up. So, you know, the Most High is literally putting us in the vein of prophecy, man. When the Lord talks about the kings of the East setting their face towards, basically setting their faces against Babylon, you know, we fulfilling those prophecies straight up. Like, that's real talk. The Most High giving us visions, dreams, insight, all of that. We're not even supposed to be able to decipher what they're putting in these movies. I mean, we got cyber attacks happening right now. And somebody said that link worked in the chat. It didn't come up as a link in my chat. When I tried to click on it, it wasn't a link. Now, mind you, the link was shared for the two elders, the two brothers. So if you in the background, that's who it was shared for. If those brothers can make it, if not, I do understand. I see Elder Uwitazah in the building.
The two elders, two brothers.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, shalom. Am I off mute?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are off mute, man.
Wow, man. This is amazing, brother, what you sharing today, man. Just the fact that our people get to see that the Almighty Yah is he's going to bring us out the same way that he brought us in.
Absolutely.
That's amazing, brother. That's you just dropped that. Wow.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, you had the vision. The Most High gave us the insight, and we share the same vision when it comes to that, because all the signs are written all over the walls, man. And when it came to that movie, a lot of nuggets was dropped, man. A whole lot. And I do want y'all's take on it. I see Jakeem is in the building as well. Salute, brother. Salute. Good to have you.
Shalom, Ak. You can hear me loud and clear?
Shalom, Ak.
Yes, sir. You're loud and clear. So, brothers, I know you brothers seen this film. So, and I know you brothers, both of you all did breakdowns. But if you care to elaborate on something that I may have missed out on that you guys seen when it comes to the symbology, what was going on in this movie, feel free to share. And we can start with you, Elder Uwitazah.
Yeah, no, just the other thing was on the radio, and my wife pointed this out to me, that it kept saying 1619. And of course, that connects back to the time in which they brought us here. So obviously, you know, the producers that you know, they trying to make sure that they riddle this with all sorts of messages. They wanted to make sure to tie that in as well, because there's always a message to the children of Israel. There's always a warning before the time of the most high is coming. That's what they used right on the radio when it was reporting. It was reporting what the issue was, the cyber attack, and the radio was going in and out. And so the guy, he wasn't even in the car at the moment in time. He was trying to talk on his phone, and then the camera switched to inside the car with the with the radio saying 1619. So
wow.
Yeah, yep, and Deja just brought out the fact that it had that Obey shirt. You remember the kid was walking around, the kid that his teeth was coming out.
Right.
He had that Obey shirt on from They Live, that movie They Live from back in the day, where it tells you to just, everybody just obey, and they're in a simulation or they're in like a illusion where everybody's under some type of mind control and not able to see the devil right in front of him. And the brother was able to put on the glasses and he could see all of the aliens or the demons that was there just walking around in human skin. So the boy in the movie that his teeth fell out, he was walking around with that shirt.
Right. No doubt, man. Yeah, I did peep that. And by the way, for those who haven't seen the film, Elder Uwitazai speaking on the radiation, the electromagnetic fields that made the young man's teeth fall out, which is something they done in war, in actual war. I believe it was World War I. They were using that same.
They just did that though, Bree. They just did that in 2020. I think it was 2020 or 2021. I did a stream on this just yesterday, showing that the United States was making claims that one of their territories had got pretty much a microwave beam shot at it. You know what I'm saying? So they just microwaving the people. And that's what all of these, these 5G towers and all that kind of stuff, they, them just, you go into certain cities right now, you just see nothing but blue lights. Like they're switching all the lights out with blue lights. Nobody knows what that is. They're just doing it. We don't know what they're putting in this stuff, to be real. So they have the ability to microwave you from the satellites. You know what I mean? They have that ability. That's wide open right now. And like you said, they've been doing it for that long.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. Yeah, the EMF is definitely real. And same question, Jakeem, brother. Anything, any symbology or something that, I may have missed that you just noticed in this film that was just like, wow, hold on now. This was hidden in plain sight.
Oh, yeah. It's a couple points that I want to bring out, actually.
Yes, sir.
Also, and the sister, she actually had a NASA shirt on. So the brother had the Obey shirt on. The sister, she had the NASA shirt. And we all know that NASA, stands for deception or to deceive. And the Hebrew is actually pronounced Nashah. So, that was another thing that I thought that was very symbolic as well. And we all know about, NASA and the deception of everything that they said is going on when really they can't even leave out of the firmament. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So we know about that. And also, another key point that I seen was speaking on the electromagnetic, right? So that loud electromagnetic screech that was in the movie is something that they've been planning on releasing. Remember when you did the stream about the emergency alert system?
Yeah.
Right? And how that was going to be going off, and it did, and all devices, even if your phone was off, it's like as soon as you cut your phone back on, it still went off. I really believe that's the precursor. And what I think what happened is they wanted to make sure that this will actually work because what else would they be planning on doing if it's not that? And why would they put that in the movie a couple months after, they just released this what they call it, emergency broadcast? I really feel like they're trying to condition the people, and they're trying to make sure that this thing will actually work and will be able to go off the way they want it to. You understand what I'm saying? Another thing was the Tesla cars. Like literally all the electric cars went to one place. So the fact that they all was piled up on the same highway, and if you've seen, they was trying to dodge them. They was all coming at them all crazy. It's like somebody programmed them cars to go to the exact same place at the exact same time. So that's another form of a cyber attack. Somebody was literally able to hack those cars and make them all go to the same place. Right? You understand what I'm saying? And and to wrap this up on my end, I also seen that. Okay, remember the part when Ethan Hawke and the brother went to the neighbor's house, right? GH's neighbor house, which was Kevin Bacon in the movie.
Yeah.
Right. So when they got there, they had a basically a standoff, right? And Ethan Hawke was telling him that basically, you know, I need medicine and stuff for my son because I don't know what's going on with him. They was kind of going back and forth. One part that really stood out to me was Ethan Hawke said that because he told him, like, how was he going to pay him? He said, I give you money. He was like, well, how can I pay you? You know, my card's not working. The whole system is down. He literally said Venmo and Apple Pay is not working, right? Then he says, Ethan Hawke breaks down, and then he says, I have nothing to go. He said, I have nothing to go back to. So I'm not leaving because I literally have nothing to go back to. Then he says, without my phone and my GPS, I am a useless man. And that made me think about exactly what Elder Yawitazar was saying. He said that you're not a man if you can't provide for your family. You are not a man. This is deep. You're not a man if when everything, you know, all hell breaks loose, right? If you can't go out there and actually provide for your family, be able to go out in the wilderness and to make a shelter, to be able to hunt for your food, to be able to find a reliable water source. And this is so important. This man literally said without his phone and GPS, he is a useless man. See, and that's the agenda all along. They want us to be docile. As men, we're supposed to be leaders. We're supposed to know how to protect and to take care of our family and our communities. But we don't know how to do nothing. Most men don't know how to do nothing but use their phone for everything. If it wasn't for the GPS, a lot of us don't even know how to get through the own city that we've been living in for years. And that's just the God honest truth. You understand what I'm saying? I think that that's one of the things that we have been trying to do here at the United Nation of Israel is to shed light on the fact that we have to get these skills. It's one thing knowing this information, but you have to know the skills that's required in order to be able to build.
Absolutely. No doubt about that, family. And man, that's a powerful breakdown on that. And brothers, I also want to ask y'all about the city versus country living. And I want to ask y'all this because that was very pivotal in the film as well, where you can see off from a distance what was taking place in the city. There was one scene in the movie that really was pretty much seared in my conscience where, you know, you can look over that great Gulf, that lake, that body of water, and you can see bombs going off. You can actually hear people screaming. So what do you brothers believe? Now, when I say country versus city living, I wanted for you brothers to expand on the importance of communal living as well and living in the country and how that lines up with scripture and so forth. We could start with Elder Yawitazar.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked this question because this is the primary part of the discussions that I have on the YouTube channel, The Congregation of the Mighty. You know, when I started having visions about this, you know, this was early on where it was dropped in my spirit, the exact things that were going to be done within the cities and even within the suburbs. You know, I thought it was just things that I was thinking about, but now I realize that these were actually visions that I was having at the time. But there's 5 primary things that is going to be attacked. And if you're in the city and in the suburbs, these are how these things are going to roll out. So number 1, I did a broadcast on December 5th, and I talked about how the United States had blamed the Iranians for doing a cyber attack on the water, right? So there's a machine that's made in Israel that a lot of the water plants are using to kind of pretty much track how much water is going in and going out. It tracks the pressure. It also does a number of other things. But what they were able to do was hack that component, which is the primary component for making sure that water gets to everybody. That one component. They were able to hack that component and shut one of the components down in Pennsylvania. The thing is that they said it hit in several other places, but they don't want to specify where. Okay, they were keeping that hush hush. They just said it was some small power plant in Pennsylvania. I mean, water plant in Pennsylvania. Now, here's the thing. This is what we know, that the whole entire grid is backed on the internet now. You know, this is controlled through the internet, and so if they could do that with the water, then they can also affect the food. There's a number of different ways that they can affect the food. They can affect the travel, the way food moves from one place to the next, so that the food that comes into the cities, right, it won't no longer come into the cities. So they could literally just starve you out. Okay, so what they're going to also they can also attack the refrigeration and things like that. So food would just go bad, you know, and you're not going to be able to move the food around. They're going to also affect the water, food, travel. Okay. The travel is going to be completely shut down. If you living in a city, in a suburb, there's primary roads that you get on. Those are going to be completely gridlocked. Okay. And they're also going to be able to shut down the way that you get your power source. So rather it be a power plant, the gas stations, you're not going to be able to go to any of those. And the people that are able to siphon whatever gas out of that, those people are going to siphon every drop of gasoline out of those things. Even before the situation hits, you know, you're going to see gas go to skyrocket. Okay. It's just going to be like, man, I'm not even going to drive because the gasoline is just too high. But they're going to siphon out every bit of gasoline that they can siphon out, where the common everyday people are not even going to be able to have access to it. And then by the time everything is said and done, there will be no more access to that. There will be no more access to electricity. All of these things are going to be hit hard. So that right there just shuts out your access to food, water, energy. You're not going to be able to travel because all of those things will be gridlocked. And then the last thing that they need to do, and this may be the first thing that they do, and it will make sense for this to be the first thing, cut off communication. So us being able to speak to each other on the phone, us be able to get online and, hey, let me check in with Newbury. Let me check in with Elder Wittizar. Let me check in with Joaquin to see what's going on. You're not going to be able to do that. And the reason is because they need you to be isolated so that they can then start moving in on you for the next stages of their attack. And the next stage of their attack is not even what you think is going to be. It's going to be people within your own community that's going to be going. It's going to be complete mayhem. People are going to be running in the streets. I'm talking about within 2 to 3 days, you're going to see literally every store looted out. Every single store going to be completely looted out. You're going to see people out there getting real desperate, killing each other. It's going to be complete pandemonium. I would say in that first 3 days, the death toll going to skyrocket. It's going to be bad out there. And the people that are smart enough to stay in their house for a week or two, after that week or two is up, they're going to be coming out looking for food. And it's just going to be those people, all those preppers and all those people they gathering up a whole lot of heavy artillery. Oh, they're going to see you and they're going to just take you out or figure out where you live at, and they're going to come and take whatever you have. You see? So this whole thing is to completely suffocate the cities and the suburbs. And as far as the suburbs go, the suburbs are in just as much danger because people are going to assume, man, if I go travel out to the suburbs, maybe I can get A, B, C. But the thing is that a lot of people don't recognize this last point that I'm going to make is that medication, that people are going to be super desperate for medication, just like what you've seen in that movie. And there's not going to be any use for money or anything. Nobody's going to be using any of that. Right. They're not going to care about any of that. And this is the last point that I want to make, Elder Breed.
Oh, take your time.
Last point I want to make is I want everybody to remember what started World War II. They said that the Japanese had did a suicide attack against United States ships or whatever. It came out later that United States made that up. They made the whole thing up. That never happened. So the thing that got the United States into World War II was completely made up, fabricated. It's common knowledge, and everybody knows it. They don't even deny it at this point. But now you also look at 9/11, which we already know that too was an inside job. We know that, okay? Now here's another thing. The pandemic that we just endured, we know that was an inside job. So the thing is that we have to recognize something, that they have a trend of doing inside jobs and completely disrupting the lives of American citizens for their own personal gain. So them coming forward and saying, hey, China did this. Hey, Iran did that. Can we truly believe anything that they're saying? No, you can't. It could actually just be them. And what their whole thing is always about doing they do these simulations, right? And so you could actually look up and see the papers that the United States government would do. They would do a simulation of what would it look like if we did an attack like this, just like what they did with 9/11. They simulated 9/11 first, and then they did it. So this here thing that you see when we watching this movie, they have already been doing cyber attacks all throughout the United States. It just has not been on the news. The day that I covered it, December 5th, when I covered it, that right there was just one of many cyber attacks that happened all throughout the United States. And so, but these family, I want you to understand that many of these are truly just inside jobs. That they want to be able to blame it on the other governments, because what they want to do is put a battery in your back and put a boogeyman in front of you and say, okay, now let's go to war with them. That's what they do. That's the only way to freedom. If you go and fight our enemy so that we can go into their country and take whatever we want. So that's what all of this is about. And the fact that the Barack Obamas is attached to this movie, it's all a whole political scheme, a political Ponzi scheme, because you know that the United States is the biggest scam artists on the planet. It's the biggest scam on the planet. This whole thing ain't nothing but a bunch of scam artists.
But yes,
so when they talk about cyber attacks, I don't believe nothing that they say. I know that it's them that's doing it, and they just want us to believe something else to keep us our head on a swivel. I like that you had that on the screen, not knowing who the main perpetrator is.
Absolutely. That's 100. Problem, reaction, solution. And they're going to take advantage of every catastrophe that takes place. They don't let any catastrophe go to waste, and they're always going to push their agenda. And I personally believe that a lot of what's going to take place is going to help to usher in the mark of the beast. A lot of what you see is just prerequisites to the mark, because the solution would be give up your freedom even more. If we got these, let's say, cyber hacks going on. Hey, you want to secure your bank account. You want to secure this. Trust in our system. Yield yourself. And that's what Satan is all about, taking domination and control over the people. So definitely. And I have the same question for Brother Jakeem Judah. Same thing, brother. Would you care to expand on not only what is going to take place in these cities, but the importance of actual community living and actually moving, moving according to what's going on?
Absolutely, brother. And to Elder Yawitazar's point, I think he brought out a lot in detail about the internal conflicts that's going to happen within these cities. And not to trigger anything or nothing, but we all seen what happened during I'm gonna just say the riots and stuff when that brother got killed by the police or whatever, right? During the time of what went on or whatever. So they do this, and that brother, he was a part of the Freemasons too, and he actually has the Order Out of Chaos tattooed on him. So all of this is a show. It's all a big ritual, and they do certain things to be able to see how the people will react. So they know whenever they pull these plugs, they create the chaos and then create the so-called solution, so that at the end of the day, you have to go to them for all your resources. You have to go to them for the help, when really they're the ones who created the problem to begin with. So it's all a big inside job. You understand what I'm saying? And the world is a chessboard, and they're trying to use us as the pawns. Now, as far as the because I do want to touch on something else, right, to tie this all in together. So we
Yes,
have
sir.
the internal wars that's going to be going on, right? The cities being bombed and the people looting and the people going crazy and just destruction and rioting or whatever, right? But we also got to realize that there's going to be, what they call World War III. So in the movie, back to that scene that I was alluding to earlier with the brothers was talking to the neighbors or whatever, Ethan Hawke and Kevin Bacon. See, Kevin Bacon has said that he believes, Ethan Hawke, said that he believes it's the Russians that's behind all of this, right? But then Kevin Bacon, he says, "No, man, I'm telling you this right now. It's either the Koreans or the Chinese." And then that's when they showed him that poster. Y'all remember those little flyers that was coming down? I didn't know what it was at first. I just seen a bunch of red stuff, and then I seen him. He pulled it out, and it was actually a flyer, and it was in Arabic, right? So that goes to show you they spoke about the Russians, they spoke about the Koreans, they spoke about the Chinese, and then on that flyer it was in Arabic. And so the guy asked him, he said, "Look, I'm telling you, it's the Arabic that's behind this." And then Kevin Bacon said, "Man, listen, I got a friend that just told me that he seen this same flyer, but it was in Mandarin." You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
that goes to show you. And then he said something that's very, very key. Then his next words was, he said that we have a lot of enemies. He said that America has a lot of enemies around the world. Maybe they finally teamed up against us, right? So I was like, I can't believe they would put that in a movie like that.
Right.
That really shocked me. I'm like, man, because it reminds me of like Red Dawn or whatever, right? So then I started to think like, okay, cool. So they basically trying to tell you that they really want to blame all these other countries. Now, I believe that all these other countries are going to have something to do with it, but really, it's America. America's doing this. America's the number one for skits. America's number one for propaganda, right? America is like Hollywood is the politicians. It's everything. Everything is a stage. You understand what I'm saying? And I do believe that all these other nations is going to come in and there's going to be a huge war or whatever. But remember, though, I believe that we've been going through World War III this whole time. I believe that what they did in 2019 was an attack. You understand what I'm saying? They never call a war until years later. World War I and World War II wasn't considered World War I and World War II until years after the war. And I think the same thing is happening here. I think we're going to look back in year 2030 plus and look back and be like, man, and we're going to be talking about how World War III started 2018, 2019.
Absolutely. I 100% agree on that. And yeah, BRICS is a good hold on one moment. BRICS is a good example of the countries coming together to go against America as well too. And I want to say in the chat, if you all have scripture, if you feel compelled to put up scripture, share the actual scripture, not just chapter and verse, but share the whole scripture so we can share it in the chat while the brothers and elders are bringing out this info, because it makes out to be more insightful so people can see that this is not just quote unquote fear mongering going on over here, that this is all lines up with biblical prophecy. And some of you are sharing some great scriptures, but for the sake of edification, I want brothers and sisters to be able to read those scriptures, all right, for their convenience. So thank you for that. Also, elders, I wanted to ask you all about the ship, because I did my breakdown on what I thought the White Lion ship was about, but I really want to see this from every perspective and angle that I can possibly see it from. And I know you brothers have different perspectives of why that ship rolled up and in the movie. So if you guys care to elaborate somewhat on that, definitely feel free, starting with you, Elder Uwitazar.
Yeah, so a ship usually represents a couple of things. So number one, a ship is a part of a nation's ability to move goods around. It it shows the wealth of a country. It shows the ability of a country to be able to stand and be able to operate. So it really, when you see it in the movie, the little girl is seeing it in the distance, and everybody's happy when they're at the beach. They see the ships in the distance and things like that. So it gives the people a sense of security. Now the thing is the closer and closer that ship begin to get, that security begins to become unraveled, and you start to lose a little bit of confidence. Like, what's going on with this ship? Well, we're not sure. You see them doing that, and so by the time that ship is clear that ship is about to crash onto the beach, the moment that it does that, you don't see anybody get off of the ship. They never show any of this, and the whole idea is to leave you as the viewer feeling like, what the heck is going on? And so the ship has there was a lot of blue symbology throughout the video. That blue is supposed to make you also feel safe. It's supposed to make you feel in tune with nature and life, and make you feel good. But when the ship rolled in, the top of the ship is blue and the bottom of the ship is red, meaning pretty much stop or halt, danger, these different things. So they did a lot of contrasting within this movie. The couple and the family, they were sitting under a yellow umbrella, and that was the symbolized caution. And so that, even in the color schemes of what they were doing with the ship, it all had a message behind it. But the primary thing that they wanted you to see was that blue lion. That white lion. And so you got one side part of the top of this part of the ship blue, the bottom part red. Then it's called white lion, even though nothing on the ship is white at all, right? It's supposed to have these contrasts and these things that just don't seem like they match together. And of course, the people that directed the movie, they know that your brain is going to do this. So again, this is a propaganda thing that they're doing. They things that get into your subconscious and things like that, right, make you feel uneasy about the security that you have. And of course, why should you feel uneasy? Well, because white lion represents when the ships first came crashing in with slaves on that ship. And, now your safety and security is coming to a halt. So that's what that ship represented to me.
Absolutely. Yes. You definitely brought out the symbolism and the color-coded messages. Appreciate that. Same question, Jakeem. Well, what was your perspective on the White Lion ship?
Yeah, brother. I think that you brought it out to the T. You went, you brought out the history. Was one of the first slave ships that actually came here to Virginia, where I stay. So I think that's very significant as well. But also just a little play on words, hey, the white lion, the white be lion. Here comes Judah.
Oh, praises. No doubt. It does seem, and if I may add, it almost seems as if they're saying, here comes Judah. Like, it's almost okay. They're having this family gathering. They're outside of the city. They're somewhere on vacation. They're outside of danger. But a ship rolls up called the White Lion, which was the first slave ship, which means no matter where you go, even those elitists that's going to run to their caverns, caves, and asylums and live like Elysium and hide in underground homes and all of those things, no matter where you go, here comes Judah. You're going to be reminded of those ships and what was done in the transatlantic slave trade, because there has to be recompense. So that's something else that I kind of pieced together, seeing that it's like you on vacation on a beach cooling, you see this big old ship just pull up on the shore like that. That's just wild right there. But no doubt about it. And for the sister that asks where are the brothers' channels, If you brothers care to announce y'all's channels once again, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people gonna want to go over there and check y'all's content out.
Yeah, so the channel that I'm on was previously New Breed Greenlight, and now it's the Congregation of the Mighty. So some of you may be already subscribed over there, but it is the Congregation of the Mighty.
Yes, sir. And your channel as well, Mr. Judah.
Yes, sir. You can follow me on all platforms at Jakeem Judah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely. The brother got a lot going on TikTok too, man. Brother's doing big things over there. So shout out to that, man. That's a blessing. But no doubt about it. And I also
I'll put it in the chat too if you wanted to share it on the screen.
Absolutely. And if I can have a moderator, you guys can share all y'all's info in the chat. We can have a moderator share all the info for these brothers' channels in the chat. Y'all be sure to support these brothers. Go subscribe, you know what I mean? And also turn y'all notification on. On these platforms, it's not enough just to subscribe to channels anymore. You're going to have to hit that little bell in the corner. You have to go down and click that you would like to receive all notifications. And then a lot of times you're going to have to subscribe, unsubscribe, make sure you're subscribed. I mean, it's a lot of work that goes into just making sure you get the recommendations that you actually sign up for on this platform. All right. Because everything is strictly algorithm based now. But if you want what you actually desire to watch and not what they're trying to force, you're just going to have to do the work. So, yeah, I just wanted to add that out there. Yeah, somebody said, did we mention the 1619 on the radio card? Yep, we seen all that. The brothers brung all of that out. So, brothers, I wanted you all to give y'all's closing sentiments, the message to the people based on the movie and based on what's going on politically right now. I know you all just seen that video clip I shared that they literally just did a cyber attack in China, hacking oil rigs, water supply, and so forth. What do you think, brothers, is the next cause of action? And what is your final sentiments on how we should maneuver in this final hour?
Yeah, you got it, Chucky.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and it's crazy that you actually said oil rig getting hacked because the White Lion ship during the movie, he actually told the daughter, she said, what kind of ship is that? He said, I think it's a one of those cargo oil ships or whatever. So I thought that's kind of yeah. So but anyway, yeah, man, just a message to the people. I just want to say everybody stay vigilant. Make sure you stay prayed up out here. Put your faith into the Most High Yah. We do not tell you these things in order to spread fear, but preparation. We want you to be ready in that time, all right? Because that time is approaching. I think it's approaching a little bit faster than we've all anticipated. But hey, I always like to say, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. So with that being said, just continue to build, continue to get with like-minded brothers and sisters. I think that's the most important thing. Build communities and get the skills that you need to be able to have your own water source, food, electrical, and shelter for you and your family, because you're going to need it. All right. We see everything that's going on. You're going to need it. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get out of this system. And when they implement the B system, you're not going to need to bow down in front of them and take anything from them. You're going to be self-sufficient and you're going to be ready. All right. So you already know I'm Jakeem Judah. I appreciate the brother for having me on all the time. Happy birthday to my brother New Breed. And y'all make sure, everybody's been talking about the song. Y'all make sure y'all go check out the song with myself and brother New Breed. It's a hit. It's on yes, sir. It's on New Breed ENT, and it's called Demonstrate. We got a lot more music coming in the near future. Y'all been asking about it, and we're gonna keep it coming. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah. Shalom.
Shalom. All praises.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, brother Jakeem. And thank you, brother New Breed, as well, for allowing us to share some of our thoughts here on your platform, brother. I'm really grateful about the work that you've been doing and getting this message out to the people. It's just amazing that in this day and time that our Father has given us this much opportunity to get it right. He's given us this much ample opportunity and given us a heads up to start making the transitions that we need. Because I know, for you, Elder Newbury, you've been sharing this information for a couple of years now, making people aware about all of the things that's going on. But I mean, for at least more than a year, we've been giving the people a solution to it. And so I'm seeing and I'm recognizing that our Father is giving us the ample time that's needed. It's not going to just spring up on us. The scriptures says that we're not going to take flight. We just going to be able to walk out of here smooth, right? And so all of the things that you all have been hearing from Elder Newbury, from myself, from the United Nation of Israel, Hebrew Planet, AHOI, all of these things, all of the preparation that we've been doing, family, the Most High is preparing a table for us. And myself, Elder Newbury, Elder Shemaiah, we saw some of that table. We did. We saw the things that the Almighty Yah has prepared for us, family. And I just want to let you know that it's going to take you finally get into a place of completely trusting Yah and completely distrusting the devil. And when I say the devil, I need you all to know that this here system, United States, America, Russia, China, all of them are the beast. They all are the beast. When you read Daniel 7 tells us that all of these nations are the beast. And when you read into Revelations, you will recognize that all of these nations are the beast. Should we be eating anything from their table? They're a beast. We shouldn't eat anything from a beast table. That's like trying to eat the dog's food. Yeah. We're not going to eat no more from their table. These people are draconian, reptilian. We don't know what the heck these beasts are. I'm not eating lizard food. Okay. And so let the lizards eat the lizard food. Let's go and start planting our own food. Let's go and start building our own homes. Let's go and start digging our own wells. Let's start building our own houses, family. Let's just live amongst each other and trust the Almighty Yah, because when we do that, I just want you to take a look around. The world is abundant. The earth is abundant. The earth, you put a seed in the ground, it's going to grow a tree and it's going to bring forth many fruits, right? So if we could trust in the Almighty Yah, whatever he created is abundant. You dig a well, that well is going to bring forth much water. We could trust the Almighty Yah, and we need to start loving and trusting each other. And that's why I'm really grateful to our brothers here and all of the brothers within the nation, all of the brothers within the brotherhood that's actually putting forth work, that's actually contributing, that's actually putting their hands to the plow to build. I want to thank all the brothers, because we put in a heck of a lot of work this year. We let the people know what's going on. And at this point now, there's no excuses. We need to see brothers and sisters that really are ready to put forth some work so that we can get this thing done. And people are not going to be scrambling and panicking and wondering where they're going. Mm-hmm. When that time comes, you're going to be comfortable, and then you could just watch. You could watch the smoke clouds, the mushroom clouds from the distance. And we going to just sit back and remember when we was all sitting back and watching Brother Newbreed on YouTube talk about this. And while we sitting there drinking handmade wine that we made out there, and eating handmade bread, and some lamb and whatever we going to do. We need to start doing that now. We can't wait till it gets here. So thank you, Brother Newbury. I really appreciate you, brother, for contributing your whole entire platform for nation building, contributing your whole entire platform for letting the people know solutions and not just the problems. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. And I want to say this as well, man. There's no greater gift than to be, building with brethren. Of course, I spent some time with family today. It's my born day. But this is definitely a gift, being able to build with you brothers of like mind, you who really about this. And I'm blessed to have you as family, have you as colleagues in this walk, in this journey. And, it's just an honor to have you, brother. So I just want to put that out there. And I want to thank y'all because the insight that y'all bringing forth is very well needed in this time. And a lot of brothers and sisters alike, they don't see what's going on. But the people that's in this chat today who you pretty much stuck around the entire stream, even though some of these messages could be tough to digest if you are, you in the everyday rigmarole. You may not want to hear the bad news, because sometimes it's bad news. But you know what? It's all in lines for those who are chosen. Everything that happened on the face of this planet is for the greater good of those who are chosen. So although it may seem like bad news, it's actually good news, because it's going to motivate us to do what we need to do, put ourselves in the right place, in the right position to do what we need to do, in which that is the will of the Most High. So, thank you, brothers, for coming on. And it's been a great Motivational Monday broadcast, and we're going to have more of these breakdowns. Y'all know when major films come out, I'm always going to ask you brothers to join, but everybody watching, so go support these brothers as well. Elder Uwitazai, Jakeem Judah, y'all want to go subscribe to the Congregation of the Almighty or the Congregation of the Mighty, and you want to subscribe Jakeem Judah on all platforms. All right, y'all. But that's pretty much what I got for y'all.
Hallelujah. Thanks again, New Breed. And man, Jakeem, bro, let's keep on building, man. We getting ready for this event coming up for next year. One Love, 1 Million Strong. That's going to be the event to help us raise all the funds that we need to be able to start building on the land, for real. So I appreciate my brother, being in our meetings, being on the Lions Den team, and thanks again, New Breed, for allowing us to speak today. Shalom.
Absolutely.
Man,
Shalom.
I'm so grateful, Elder. Appreciate everything you guys bringing me in as family, and we gonna continue to build, man. I love you guys, bro. Shalom.
All right, love you, fam. All right, brothers.
Love you too, brother.
All right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, man. Peace and blessings. Thank each and every one of y'all. For everybody who sent super chats, I want to thank y'all. As a matter of fact, let me read those out. Geraldo, I appreciate the support. Devon Adams says the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake showing you having to pay to get another district. Wow, interesting. Thank you for that contribution. Matthew M. Wolf, thank you for contributing. From Failure to Fighter says, get those likes up to match the views. I got work to do on my channel. I'm going to watch this on the recap. Says I'm going to get as many people to the UNY as I can. That's a promise from one friend to another. Bell Townsend, thank you for the support. Floyd D.N. Rollo, my fellow December-born brother. Thank you for the support. Says happy reborn day, bro. I appreciate it. I wish I'd have seen you in the chat, but I'm seeing this late. I'm pulling up all the super chats. Han Solo, thank you for the support as well, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate the support. And if y'all want to, help out with the development of the land, you can always support on newbreed.love as well. Get yourself some love notes. And make sure if you're not subscribed, if you're new to the platform, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notification bell on. Also, go subscribe to New Breed Universal ENT. And if you want exclusive content that can't be shared on this platform, consider becoming a Patreon, patreon.com/newbreed. Got some real powerful stuff over there. For those who don't know, we actually have an interview with Ron Dalton over there on Patreon. And for those who are unaware who Ron Dalton is, we're talking about when Kyrie Irving shared that tweet, that book from Hebrews to Negroes. That was the gentleman that's who wrote that book. We talking about a world-renowned 3-time best publishing author. If you want to see that interview, you just got to become a Patreon and check it out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank each and every one of y'all. I want y'all to have a blessed one. With that being said, shalom and peace.